awesome. I recognize all the teachers still. So.
Wasn't that long ago?
Yeah. It was fun though.
Okay, so should we wait for your family, or do you know you're good?
Yeah,
You're
I'm
kind
okay.
of practiced at this by now, aren't
Yeah.
you? All right.
Old hat.
Let's start right here with Jeff Cordes of the Idaho Mountain Express.
Kaitlyn, are you aware that on the Wikipedia page for Ghostland Observatory, you're mentioned now as...
You know, I was hoping they would mention me after the shout-outs I've been giving them.
Maybe you can meet them or get a music thing?
Maybe I can now.
It was curious that when you were asked that question on David Letterman, that you said that, because I don't think a lot of people know that hearing music as you compete is pretty common practice.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone listens to music. Mostly everyone these days listens to music just because it's a mind-numbing thing, and it just, I don't know, it helps you get focused and drown everything else out.
And you particularly like that song because of its...
You know, I don't know why I started listening to that song, but at the beginning of the season, my first contest, that was the song that I had chosen during my first run, and it just kind of stuck. And so every time before I start like a contest, I just put that song. I have a playlist with only that song on, and it just goes. But I don't listen to it any other time just because it'd get old.
And that's pretty much been the case all the way through the season.
Yeah, all the way through the season.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Karen Bosick, Weekly Sun.
Yeah, I'd like to know, how have you changed since this? What has happened that you didn't expect at all?
I mean, I texted my friends after I had won the event and was like, my whole world has just changed. Because I'm known now, I feel, around America. People know me, and people have recognized me through the things, and I was the girl that represented our country and brought home a gold medal, and so it's just been a whirlwind, and it's crazy.
Chad, Idaho Statesman.
Hey, Kaitlyn, saw sort of brushing away some tears when you came to the airport. What were the emotions like for you?
I mean, just to come back to the town, this is the first time that I had cried, and everyone's like, it's going to happen, Kaitlyn, it's going to happen. And just coming to the airport and having everyone there that's been supporting me through the years when I started snowboarding, it was just an amazing feeling. And to just be a part of a small community and have them all come together just to congratulate me, it was just an amazing experience.
Jay?
What's it been like for you since you won the gold medal? You worked so hard to obviously get to this moment, getting money to chase your dream, and now you probably don't have to worry about it.
No, I've been doing pretty well since I've been ushered around all of New York City doing interviews, and got to go to the Daytona 500, do some more interviews, and just, I don't know, I've just been able to enjoy the moment, because that's what everybody said. Kelly Clark, she's just been telling me she's like, Kaitlyn, just enjoy every second of it. And so I've just really been taking the time to enjoy it, because it is something special, and it's been an awesome experience. And I have worked so hard through the past few years, and when they put the medal around my neck during the ceremony, that was kind of my holy cow, it paid off, because it did.
Times News, Aaron?
Yeah. Kaitlyn, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great to see you again. Did you have, when you went to Sochi, did you have any idea you'd wind up where you are now?
No, I didn't. I mean, the hardest part for me was even making the team. It came down to the last qualifier for me, and I kind of had even written myself off in a way, because it was just, there's so many good American girls, and it's hard to make that cut of 4. And at the last Grand Prix, I remember dropping in for my last run, and they're like, Kaitlyn has to win this contest to make the team. I was like, no pressure. So I just remember hearing that, and then I had won the contest, made the team, got named to the team that day, and that was an amazing experience. And then to walk away from my first Olympic experience with the gold medal is just unbelievable.
You had some pretty good company.
I did. I had 3 other gold medal winners, too.
Yeah, that's great.
Absolutely. Any Dick?
Well, welcome home, as I said at the airport, Kaitlyn, and we're all just so proud of you. 4 years ago, Robin and I were in Vancouver. You missed making the team, And a few weeks later, you won the X Games, and Robin and I made a bet right there. We're going to see you in Sochi, and you did it. Your runs were top notch. I mean, you were on your game, so obviously you were focused and really paying attention, and it was close, highly competitive.
Yeah.
So you must feel really good.
Yeah, it was amazing. I mean, for me, I had to go through all 3 rounds that day. I was so nervous during my first qualifying run. Like, I thought I was going to die dropping into the pipe. Like, oh my gosh, this is my first Olympic run. Like, I was so nervous. And then after I'd made it down, I was like, oh, I can do this. And so after that, I think it helped me that I had to do semifinals just because our practice days were really difficult and the conditions were tough for us. And so just being able to ride the pipe more than anybody else, I think actually helped me in the fact of finals, because some of the girls, they got a couple hours off. And I had told Kelly the day before, because we were talking about our heats, and I told Kelly, I was like, Kelly, I plan on riding all day tomorrow. And I think that really helped me because I wasn't expecting to just qualify straight to finals.
And how did the coaches help you as well? I mean, you had coaching to prepare you for this here, and then you went on to travel internationally. They must have given you good support.
Yeah, I mean, good old Andy Gilbert. Everyone knows him. But I mean, Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation, they've done so much for me over the years. They started me out. And then I actually work with Elijah Teeter and Ben Boyd, and Ben Boyd was up for Australia and Russia, and then I had flown Elijah Teeter out, and he was at the bottom of the pipe to kind of hang out and help me. And then I also had the support of the U.S. team coaches, and so I had a huge support group there because all the coaches were rooting for me, and I got to work with the coach that I've been working with all year, and I just think it really helped having them out there.
Kaitlyn, I have a question for you. You've always been kind of the dark horse and the up-and-comer. You're young. What does the gold medal do as far as your confidence and your reputation in the snowboard world?
For me, I mean, I've always been the underdog, I feel like, going into all the contests, but people do know that I can break out, and so I think just breaking out at the Olympics and winning it was just something where people are like, all right, maybe we can't write her off, because I feel that a lot of times some people do write me off, and they're like, oh yeah, she'll do good, but she's not gonna podium, or she's not gonna win the event. But I think now people know that I'm a threat to be reckoned with.
If you could critique your riding, what do you think your strongest point is?
I think my strongest point in my riding is I'm different. I try every contest to do a different run than I did the contest before. And I also I'll spin every access, and I think it's just, I'm different than the other girls, and that's what stands out for me, and that's what I get scored on, because I do tricks that some of the other girls aren't doing.
Go ahead. Is there anything you've added particularly trick-wise or sequence-wise for the Olympics?
Yeah, no, not for the Olympics, but this year I did add switch backside spins, and that was a trick that only Tora usually does, and then Maddie Shafrick will do. And so I kind of was watching them through the years, and I was like, okay, I can do that trick too. And so I kind of started doing switch backside spins this year, and that's really what helped me at the Olympics, I'm pretty sure. And also I do an alley-oop, which is something else that is completely different from all the other girls that helps me.
Kaitlyn, can you take us through your itinerary for the last week or so? What have you done? What are the takes through the steps you've left?
Well, when I left Sochi, I went to New York and was in New York for a week just doing interviews and some TV shows. And then I just got back today from the Daytona 500, and that was an awesome experience because I've never been into NASCAR or seen a race, but got to experience it, and it was really cool. I was an honorary marshal, and I gotta do be in the pace car and stuff for it, and just go around and meet everyone, and yeah, and then now I'm here.
Did you stay till it was over last night?
I left like maybe a half hour early, but I did wait it out because I was like, I've got nothing else to do, and I made it all the way down here, so may as well.
So you were in the pace car right before the race, or when?
Yeah, right before the race, they do the pace cars, and I was in there. It was
How similar was the pace car banking to your bike?
very different. At first, I didn't have my seatbelt on, and then I realized that the pitch is it's a 37-degree pitch, I think, around the track. And so we were like, oh, maybe we should put our seatbelts on.
Where are you hoping your medal will take you? What do you want to do?
I don't really know. I'm definitely going to try for the next Olympics, and that's something that's on my agenda. But right now, I'm just going to enjoy this one, and hopefully I'll bring home another one someday.
But no Disneyland? Where would you like it to take you if just for fun?
I haven't really thought about that. I think mainly I hope it takes me to the beach. So I'm kind of sick of winter, and so maybe I'll actually enjoy a summer.
So she wasn't warm.
Kaitlyn is somebody who came up through the Southern Valley Ski Education Foundation. Can you speak to the kids that are here watching you today, what your experience was like and what it could be like for them?
I mean, for just to be able to go and experience an Olympic is an amazing accomplishment, and I think that you just want to keep putting in all the hard work. There is the times that you think, oh, I'm never going to get there, the times that you're just so bummed on yourself because you did poorly in a contest, but really you can't think about that because there are going to be those contests where you're like, I should have done better, the judges hate me, but really, if you just keep putting in hard work and just keep at it and just don't give up, you'll make it for sure.
What was it like riding through town on a fire truck?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, it was my chariot. It was so fun. I mean, to just come home and then they're like, yeah, we got a parade for you. You're standing on top of a fire truck. And then to see all the little kids and everybody lining the streets of where I grew up and used to drive through every single day to get up to the mountain. It was just awesome to feel the support of the community.
Been smiling and laughing through the whole thing today. Is that just you, or are you just particularly happy about this?
I think it's just me, but this is a happy time, so yeah, my cheeks hurt probably a little.
What has kept you grounded so far?
What's kept me grounded is just kind of like, I started snowboarding because I liked it and it was something fun. And so that's all it is. It's just snowboarding. It's nothing bigger than that. And that's one of my goals. Every time I go up on the mountain, I just want to have a good time. And that's something that I take with me into every contest. I try and have fun and keep it fun for myself, because if I start thinking about all the pressure and stuff, it becomes not fun and I crumble.
How did you stay in that mindset at the Olympics? I mean, looking at you prior to your final run, it seemed like you were as loose as ever.
Yeah, I think just like I said, doing semifinals, during practice for semifinals, we had 40 minutes, and my coaches were like, Kaitlyn, don't practice that much, you're gonna get tired, blah blah blah. I was like, it's just like another riding day, because usually when you're going snowboarding and you're riding all day, and that's how I kind of was looking at that for finals, and rode through semifinals, and I was changing my run every time. I would drop in on a different side, drop in on the other side, and just kept switching it up. And then when it came to finals, it was just the same thing. There was another 40 minutes of practice, and I rode the whole time. And some of the girls were like, "Oh, I'm only gonna take 3 laps. That's my limit." But I just kept taking laps and doing different things, and I think it just helped me feel out the pipe, and then just kept thinking that it's just like another riding day.
How many laps did you take that day?
I don't know. I did a lot. How many, Dad?
A lot.
I mean, I rode a lot. I started riding at 2 o'clock that day and ended at 10 or something. So it was quite a long day.
Kaitlyn, you've been in so many competitions and different, events. How different was being in the Olympics? I mean, when it came down to the nuts and bolts, was it just another half-pipe competition, or was it so far beyond what you expected?
For me, it was just another half-pipe competition. I was like, my playlist was the Big O, and my iPod, and it was just kind of the hardest part was getting to the Olympics. So once I was there to enjoy it. And it was just something that I was hoping that I was going to make finals, and just to be able to experience something like the Olympics, it's every kid's dream. I thought I was going to be an Olympic swimmer one time. And, you have these dreams as kids that I would love to be an Olympic champion. And then to actually make it there, you can't put the stress on you. You just want to enjoy it because you put your whole life into getting there, and to make it there is just an amazing feeling.
How long are you home for, and what are you going to do while you're home?
I'm here until Sunday, and I'm just going to go snowboarding and do a lot of interviews, I'm pretty sure, and talk to a lot of people.
When's the last time you were on board? Have you gotten anything done since you won gold?
No. I haven't taken my snowboard out of my snowboard bag. I've been traveling with it, and people are like, I've been getting in cars, and the drivers are like, how do we fit this in here? I'm like, oh, I've got this. Like, put down the front seat, and you put it in that way. And they're like so stressed because they don't even know what to do with it.
These kind of sports change so much from year to year. 4 years from now, what's women's halfpipe going to look like? What's the next thing to push for?
I don't know what it's going to look like, but I feel that women's halfpipe is progressing every year, every month pretty much. And the tricks are getting harder, and so it's just important to just keep with it. And as a rider, I want to keep improving. And I know that I have a lot left in me that I can do. And so I just want to try and accomplish more goals that I have for myself and keep at it.
When you saw people's expressions when you're going through Bellevue and Haley and Ketchum, could you believe just how amazingly happy they were? I mean, was that the best feeling?
It was awesome. Like, we were talking about that in the cars, just like people were so happy, and it's just cool that something like this brought the community together so close, and everybody is just excited for the same thing.
When was the last time you were home?
I was here for Christmas.
Since winning the medals, is there anything that has particularly stood out to you? I mean, it was on Twitter or whatever. You've gained some popularity.
Oh yeah.
Is there any moment that stands out to you throughout that whole thing though?
I think standing out. Zac Efron followed me on Twitter, and that was something. That's about it.
What was it like as you watched for the 3 gold medalists go down the pipe as you were at the bottom with your score, just waiting to see if they would hold up?
For me, I was just so happy that I landed my second run, because I landed my first run, but it was a little bit sketchy, and so going into my second run, I was like, I just need to clean this up, and it should be a good score, and I got a good score on it. And then I was just happy that I landed that, and then just watching the other girls come down and them landing their runs as well was a cool experience, because then once I realized that I was going to be on the podium, I was already celebrating, like, oh my gosh, I just got an Olympic medal. And then by the end of it, I was like, holy cow, I got an Olympic gold medal, and just couldn't believe it.
Is the camaraderie among you girls, you women, real? I mean, I know it is real, but why is it so different for the men to the women, do you think?
I don't know why it's different for the men, but I feel like, I don't know, us girls, we've been traveling together so long, and it's been a few years, and just we've built these friendships, and I think that's one of the most important part in snowboarding, is to have these friendships, because you're all over the world together with these people, and it's fun to be able to experience it with some of your best friends. And so I think we all just are happy to see each other do well, and we know that it's going to change. Like, I have another contest in a week or so, Vail Open, U.S. Open, and I don't expect myself to win, because I know that there's other girls that have a fire under them now, since they didn't get the gold medal at the Olympics, and so I'm not expecting to go to the Vail Open and win it. I'm expecting to go there, land my runs, and do what I do.
Of everything you gotten to do the last week, what's been your favorite?
I think doing the Opie and Anthony show. It was really fun, and those guys were hilarious, so I really enjoyed that.
That was non-PC.
Kaitlyn, I was glad to hear you finally shed a tear, because Andy has been crying.
That's what I've been hearing. He hasn't been able to talk for a week.
Kaitlyn, Andy's been your coach for a lot of years. You've known him for a long time. Have you ever seen him in a V-neck sweater and a button-down?
You know, I may have at one of the foundation dinners that we did, but
This is
that's
a
about it.
fundraiser out.
Kaitlyn, what's next in the bag of tricks? What are you going to be working on for runs next year?
I mean, last year I learned backside 1080s, and I haven't done one at all this year because we haven't even had the time to, like, do it, like, try and learn things because we've just been going from contest to contest. So I'm hoping that in this spring I'm going to get those back and into my switchback sevens. And then, you know, I don't know what else. Could see some double courts hopefully in my future, but yeah, that's what I'm going with.
How much have you enjoyed telling your story? I mean, from selling cows to help fund your career. I mean, it's just a story that people can relate to. I mean, and it probably makes a lot of other people look at you as a role model.
I mean, it's been amazing to tell my story because nobody's cared until now. And so, I get to walk around pretty much doing interviews and tell people how awesome I am. And it's just been really fun because nobody did care and now everyone's caring. And I mean, it's just crazy because you can come from nothing and be at the top. And it's just inspiring, I feel like, to younger kids and to families that think they can't go snowboarding or skiing because their family doesn't have money. There are ways around it. In the Sun Valley Ski Education Foundation, I was on scholarships the whole time coming up through. And so everybody has supported me along the way. And if you just keep working at it, it'll pay off in the end.
You've got all these kids looking up to you now. What kind of responsibility is that? Is that something you embrace or you know, want to be role models to those kids? Or
Definitely, I want to be a role model to all these kids. Every time I come home for Christmas, I go snowboarding with these guys, and it's just an amazing feeling to have people looking up to you. And I looked up to kids when I was young, at that age, and so it's cool to now be in those people's shoes because I know how it feels to look up to someone. And yeah.
who was your role model as a kid as you were snowboarding? Who was it you were looking up to?
Oh, my role model? One of my main role models, like, through life kind of has been Barrett Christie. And she is somebody that has supported me since I was 15. It's my snowboard sponsor, GNU. And she is a legend in snowboarding. And so she was one of my big role models when I was growing up and still is now.
Serious, have you seen a spike in sponsorships? Or is all that stuff still probably getting sorted out? Or?
Well, the blackout just got let up today for the Olympic sponsors and stuff. And, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a couple of different things, but no, I'm pretty set in stone with all my sponsors. And so it's fun because they're the people that have been supporting me through this journey and have been backing me and helping me get here. And, yeah, so I don't really see myself changing in any sponsors.
Mark?
Kaitlyn, many of those, you know, we've kind of watched you come up from, like, below the lip methods and explain some of those paramount moments where you just had an aha moment, you said.
I mean, for me, like, having those aha moments is kind of just, yeah, you do the tricks at the lips, and then all of a sudden you've kind of realized that you just need more speed, and you're like, all right, I just want to go fast and actually make it out of the half pipe. And it's cool to just have it. I had one of those aha moments at the Olympics. I was going bigger, I think, on some of my tricks than I had ever gone, and it was just something, just while I was there, I was like, I made it to the Olympics. I'm just going to send it, and it's going to work out for myself.
Jeff, did you have a question?
These younger snowboarders here might want to know when you started and where on the snowboard.
I started here in Sun Valley. I started skiing when I was 3 and swapped over to snowboarding when I was like 11 and started...
Was it her?
Yeah, because my sister started snowboarding, and of course I wanted to be like my older sister. And then Heather over here was the one that got me on team.
Two culprits.
Yeah, sitting on the ends.
I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Anyone else? Questions?
Kaitlyn, you had had to expect that your town would welcome you home somehow, but did you expect that it would be this big?
No, I mean, I started hearing things through Twitter and people were commenting, and I've been talking with Jody all week, and so I knew that there was going to be some sort of like parade or like, actually I thought it was more going to be people meeting me at the airport. I didn't really expect the whole parade through Bellevue, Haley, Ketchum, and I knew that we were planning a party on Saturday, and so that's all that I was thinking was going to go on. I didn't think it was going to be like this at all.
We had to utilize the fire trucks.
Yeah.
What are you going to do for all the people that want to hold your medal?
I mean, they can touch it. I mean, lots of people already have. People are like, bite your medal. I'm like, I don't want to. So many people have touched it already. No. It's, no.
Feels comfortable.
It feels comfortable. Usually it sits in my pocket because I can't go anywhere around with it around my neck, so keep it in my pocket mostly. No, I don't sleep with it.
Can you show everybody the medal?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, let's have you stand up.
Yeah.
Go, Side.
But I noticed most of the people in the parade today, they didn't want to see the medal. They wanted to see you. It was really cool.
Yes, it's been fun.
So is it nice to be home?
It is nice to be home. It's fun to just see everyone again.
Yeah. Catch up with old friends this
Yeah.
week probably.
Yeah.
And rest and
Yeah, and just enjoy it. Be able to go to Dollar, ride, and it'll be fun.
see
What
your
about
dog.
the Olympics surprised you that you were not expecting at all? From anything, from the food to...
Nothing really surprised me. I was over in Russia last year, and so I kind of had a feel for the place and where I was at, and so it wasn't really a surprise when I got there. Cause, yeah, the most surprising part, I guess, was how much more they had built since the last time I was there. Yeah.
Are you going to be around at all for this weekend's Idaho Special Olympics?
I am on Friday. I got invited to go to the high school at 7 o'clock to go do something with those guys, and I'm probably going to go do that Friday. Yeah.
Also, where does one store their gold medal?
You know, I haven't. People have been asking me that, and I'm like, I'm probably going to carry it around in my pocket for the next month and milk it as much as I can, and then I'll figure it out from there.
Can you go through the airport detectors with it on, or do you have to put it in the bucket?
No, it's usually in my backpack, so it just goes through there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like, what is that thing?
It's just my gold medal.
So which area did you do most of your snowboarding here?
On Baldy.
On Baldy.
Yeah.
Can I ask your sister a question?
Yeah.
What's your name again?
Jesselyn?
Jesselyn?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a U.S. Olympic team polo.
I do. I'm just
What is that?
representing Kaitlyn. I sent my mom home with a big bag of the gear that they had given us because I had so much stuff that I was like, I don't need this as
So
well.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Caitlin, how special was it to have your parents on hand for the Olympics?
I mean, it was so great to have my mom and dad make it out there because my joke is I couldn't imagine making that phone call. Hey, Mom, Dad, guess what I did today? It's just something that I couldn't imagine even doing without them there, and just having them there to experience the whole thing with me. They were there in Mammoth when I made the team, and so it was just cool to have them along the whole journey because that would be a hard phone call to make.
Absolutely.
You said Sun Valley helped them go.
Yeah.
What kind of support did you guys get?
Sun Valley had, at my mom's work at the wine company, there's buckets. They know better than I do. Come on, Mom, tell the story.
We had snowboard boots in 5 different places around town, and some people took their time out to stand at Atkinson's for a few hours every evening. And we raised a lot of money to help to help fund it. It was amazing. It was great for everybody to do that, and we really appreciate it.
Kaitlyn, how does it feel to bring back a snowboarding gold Olympic medal to a town that has a long history in skiing and not
It is awesome because it's awesome, and because my run that I did request, but I found out I got turned down, was Broadway. And so it's funny to know that when I kind of started snowboarding, that Seattle Ridge didn't even allow snowboarders at that point, and now to bring home a gold medal for the snowboarders, it's prime.
So which run are they naming?
I don't know which one we're.
I think they're still discussing it.
Yeah, I think it's still up for discussion now.
What will it be called?
You know, I don't know what we're gonna call it. Yeah, well, I think there was kids were gonna put it. There was gonna be a contest for kids to name it, and then I gotta pick the name. So.
So it won't be Broadway?
No, it won't be Broadway.
It'll be a regular run and not a half pipe.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
But it was suggested to you that Broadway might be a good spot? And
Well, that's what I wanted. That was my favorite run as a kid, so that's what I wanted, but I got turned down.
I'll never follow Broadway.
It could be the half pipe, though, now.
Suze actually has a great story about the name Kaitlyn's Way. Can you tell the crowd that, Suze?
Well, when she was first starting, it was Kaitlyn's Way was her motto, so that was why I thought how appropriate to have Broadway be Kaitlyn's Way.
That's the way she got down.
And was her motto why? Just because she was
I don't
so
know, why
determined
was
to do
it?
things
Because I do things the way I want to do them. I don't take advice from anyone else. I kind of just do it the way I want
to answer that. So I don't know if a lot of people in this room know this or not, but it's been, 3 years since you've been with the U.S. team, or longer?
That I haven't
2
been?
years that you haven't been a member of the U.S. snowboarding team. So Kaitlyn's been out here doing this on her own. She's hired her own coaches out there on the road, and I think one of the reasons that Kaitlyn has done so well is that she has always surrounded herself with good people and done it her way, and just you've made good decisions to get you to this point.
Yeah.
And I think it all kind of came together at the same time for her. So very unique in snowboarding. That doesn't happen very often.
Yes.
Kaitlyn's way.
So I have another question. So maybe Andy knew it. I don't know how long you've been with her for, but when did you first detect she had some talent? Or how did anyone know?
It was pretty early on, and a lot of it had to do with work ethic. A lot of it had to do with how hard she would practice. She would give every boy on the team a run for their money. She would take hits, and I would start running down the pipe because I thought her day was over, and she would get up, come back around, do it again. So we kind of knew that it was mindset. It was mental toughness as well as ability. And like she was saying earlier, uniqueness. She always kind of had a little bit different tricks than the other girls were doing, and she was always pushing for tricks that other girls didn't have. So it was kind of a total package deal.
And perseverance.
Yeah.
A lot of perseverance.
So Kaitlyn, on the map yesterday, the trivia question was, what do all the Olympians say in the groups I go? They're all women.
Oh, there we are. Represent.
We have 2 gold medal Olympians that live on Glendale Road now. You and Dick. You have something in common.
There we are.
Do we have questions from anyone else?
Oh, I just wanted one question. Is there a Wheaties box in your future?
You know, I do. I recently got Cheez-It as a sponsor, and they're up for discussion right now if I'll be on a Cheez-It box. So.
Alfredo or cheddar?
The Cheez-It duos.
Anyone? Kaitlyn, we want to say, and your family, thank you so much for making the time to talk to all of us today. We so appreciate it, your help and your graciousness, and we hope you have a great week here at home.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.